66 million years ago, an asteroid struck this exact spot, its 6-mile-wide body vaporizing upon impact. The resulting tsunami flooded the Atlantic, the seismic shockwave incinerating continents, and a cloud of ash blackening the sky. This cataclysm ended the age of dinosaurs and birthed the Yucatan Peninsula. Today, another force of unprecedented scale is awakening the region. Not destruction, but rebirth. A 5 billion engineering marvel aims not just to deepen Progreso Port, but to redefine Mexico's economic heartbeat. But to succeed, engineers must master both the Gulf's geology and its fiercely delicate ecosystems. The Yucatan isn't merely a tourist hotspot, it's a geological puzzle. The crater's collapse formed a ring of limestone caves, like the cenotes, but left coastal shelves unnaturally flat. For centuries, Progreso's pier, the world's longest at 4 miles, stretched futilely into shallow waters. With only a 40-foot deep channel, even 30-year-old container ships faced draft limits. Now, state-of-the-art trailing suction dredgers work 24/7, their 12,000 horsepower pumps hoovering up 45,000 cubic feet of sediment hourly. The goal? Cut through 2,300 feet of seabed to create a channel 10 feet deeper and 98 feet wider, wide enough for the 14,000 TEU Maersk's flagship Maersk McKinney Moller to dock. Below the surface, a silent revolution unfolds. Every bucket of sand removed here could bury a soccer pitch in sediment, yet the Gulf's biodiversity makes this a high-wire act. Engineers use LiDAR-scanned maps to identify coral beds and spawning hotspots. Biodegradable SOC. Barriers block silt from silting up seagrass nurseries. And for the first time in Mexican port history, night operations paused during the September-October sea turtle hatchling phase. But the Gulf's complexity doesn't stop there. Beneath Progreso's silty shallows lie ancient fossils and Maya artifacts. So archaeologists collaborate with dredging teams, combing slurry samples for remnants of pre-Columbian shipwrecks. Meanwhile, offshore, the sediment isn't wasted. Where dredging creates a deeper channel, pumped sand builds artificial breakwaters, protecting Cancun's coastline from Atlantic storms. By 2026, Yucatan's coastal wetlands will be 20% larger than before this project began. But the Gulf's challenges are global. Scientists warn that climate-driven currents are already shifting sediment patterns, so the project's engineers work with oceanographers from the UNESCO Blue Economy Initiative, using AI to predict how sea level rise by 2030 will reshape the seabed. Their solution? A dynamic dredging corridors that shifts annually, always staying one step ahead of coastal erosion. This is dredging's high-tech renaissance. Where once humans guessed seabed contours with sonar, today engineers deploy sonic LiDAR, bouncing 500,000 sound pulses per second to map sediment density and pore pressure. At the Yucatan Eco Control Center, algorithms crunch data from 2,500 sensors to anticipate ecological disruptions. If, for example, salinity spikes dangerously in a fish spawning zone, dredging grinds to a halt within 15 minutes. The result? A 40% reduction in accidental habitat damage over traditional methods. Even the buoys are innovations. Self-powering with wave energy, they stream pH, ammonia, and dissolved oxygen levels via 5G to port managers' tablets. For heavy machinery, operators guide robotic dredgers like video games in virtual reality. Operator booths, VROBs. Their gestures translating to centimeter-precise nozzle movements. And when storms hit? Emergency protocols kick in. Automated shutters seal dredger hoppers. Solar-powered floodgates divert slurry flows, and AI reroutes ships to less sensitive zones. Hold your breath as Progreso's promise unfolds from the families who fished here for generations. For 35-year-old Carlos Medina, once skeptical of the project, the change came when he joined the Marine Stewards Program. Now, he's a certified sediment pump engineer, and his daughter Maria learns bioengineering at university, both funded entirely by the project's community grants. But not all are content. Nearby, the coastal voices. Collective protests the slow pace of mangrove restoration, citing lost fish stocks. The government responds with transparency. Real-time fish catch maps overlay. Port activity, proving declines aren't linked to dredging, instead to overfishing by foreign trawlers. Meanwhile, Progreso's labor force reflects Mexico's diversity. 53% women, 12% Maya indigenous workers, and a 70% local hire rate. Even the port guardian roles, which patrol ecosystems to ensure compliance, are held by fishermen-turned-ecologists. Here, the project isn't just rebuilding a port, it's rewriting social contracts, proving that infrastructure can uplift communities without sacrificing heritage or environment. Follow the Tren Maya's steel tracks inland, where logistics dreams crystallize. The rail now connects farmers, factories, and forests. A new agricultural exchange in Valladolid allows smallholders to bid directly on export contracts. So organic vanilla from Yucatan reaches Parisian bakeries 2 days faster. The rail's crown jewel? Its multi-mode junction at Merida, where 28 robotic cranes lift containers in perfect synchronization. Here, a shipment of solar panels from Spain's Bilbao port departs. Progreso arrives at Merida within 8 hours and is trucked to a remote Maya solar farm, all within 36 hours of departure. Every rail mile counts. The track itself is engineered with embedded sensors to detect animals. A signal pauses the train, opening a temporary fence for wildlife. Meanwhile, the Tren Maya's solar canopy project provides shade and power. Over 500 miles of solar panels along sidings generate enough energy annually to light every coastal community in the region. In 2026, Progreso's transformation completes, but its story isn't finished. The port has halved emissions through electric cranes and hydro walls. Every cargo ship to dock must adhere to blue carbon standards, paying carbon credits directly to local mangrove replanters. Fishermen now earn dual incomes, from tourism guiding divers to see newly protected reefs, and their catch prices jumped 35% after EU certification as ethical Caribbean seafood. This is the future Mexico bets on. One where every ton shifted supports both profit and planet. As the world watches, Progreso isn't just a port. It's the blueprint for humanity's shared challenge, how to grow, but without leaving the Earth behind.